Dude.
No.
I am tripping right now.
I feel like I've totally lived through this day already.
Deja vu?
Yes.
The day reset when you died, right?
Yeah.
I might be able to help with that. I died 11 times.
For all things Halloween, this is Hauntformer, and everyone, welcome to a very special video for you guys today. I've never quite done a video like this, but before I jump into it, I want to give a huge thank you to Christopher Landon for helping me out with what you are about to see. So Landon, in case you are living under a rock and don't know who he is a film director and writer. He's most well known for writing Disturbia, several of the Paranormal Activity films, including 2, 3, 4, and the marked ones, and also Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You, which was the main catalyst for this video. After I saw the film, I reached out to Chris, and he responded to me very quickly, and I want to thank him for his cooperation and time for answering some of my questions in this video. So what I'm going to be doing is I sent him a couple questions, and he sent me back his responses. So this is kind of a Q&A, kind of a miniature interview, if you will, just because I am a fan of his work, and I'm sure you guys are as well. So we're going to be talking about kind of his process, some of the inspirations for his films, and I hope you guys will enjoy the ride. So without any more delay, let's interview Christopher Landon. Writers are kind of the unseen geniuses behind movies. What inspires you to come up with your ideas? My ideas come from a wide variety of places and situations. Some of it is personal experiences, art, music, and films I have loved from the past. For example, I came up with the idea for Disturbia while I was stuck in traffic in my car. I was listening to NPR doing a story on Martha Stewart's house arrest, and I was struck by how interesting it would be to build a movie around a character who was trapped in their own home. That's how the Hitchcock by way of John Hughes story came about. How do you get into the mindset to write your stories and screenplays? Whenever I start writing something, I always begin writing by hand in a journal. I like the feeling of putting pen to page. I feel more connected that way. I tend to write very detailed, very long outlines. I find when the ideas are flowing, it's best to get as much down as possible. I also like to create playlists for each project that act like a soundtrack/score to the movie. It really helps in the brainstorming process. And most important, I treat the writing like a job, not a hobby. I have to set hours every day, and I give myself goals. It helps to put that pressure on myself. I work better under the gun, LOL. Happy Death Day to You is very different tonally than its predecessor, focusing more on the humor and science fiction plot lines. What led to these changes? When I set out to write Happy Death Day to You, I had two objectives. One, I wasn't going to make the same movie twice. I didn't want to put the audience through the exact same paces, so when the idea of making the movie more of a sci-fi adventure appeared to me, I jumped at it. It was risky and crazy, and I loved that. Second, I wanted to make the emotional stakes to be higher in the second time around. If Tree faced a huge personal dilemma, I thought it would help elevate the movie as a whole. Happy Death Day has been compared to Groundhog Day and Back to the Future in many regards. How have these films influenced Happy Death Day and its sequel? The movies of my childhood have had a huge impact on me. I think this is true for most people. The Back to the Future franchise is among my favorites, and I felt like that kind of energy and fun doesn't really exist in movies today outside of the Marvel canon. I wanted to make a movie that was essentially a love letter to the stuff I loved in the 80s. I find myself reaching back to that decade a lot. The movies were unpretentious, a little goofy and earnest, and they weren't concerned with stuff that studios seem to be obsessed with today. What is your personal favorite horror film? Has it inspired you when you create your own films? Favorite horror movies? I don't just have one. Rosemary's Baby, The Thing, The Exorcist, and Poltergeist. I love all of these movies for various reasons. They each have taught me something about myself and about the process/art of storytelling. I return to them again and again. Finally, on a lighter and more personal note, have you ever had a terrible birthday experience? If so, what was it? Though I assume no poisoned cupcakes are involved. My worst birthday experience, I had a party when I was a kid where we had a big bouncy. The motor died, and the bouncy deflated very quickly, trapping a bunch of kids inside under the heavy plastic. It was chaos, and most of the kids went home in tears. Probably scarred me for life. Teehee. Everyone, that was my interview with Christopher Landon, and again, I just want to give a big thank you to him for taking time out of his busy schedule to answer some of these questions, and I hope you enjoyed his responses. Certainly helped me, being someone who loves the art of film, to see it from a professional standpoint. So again, thank you for watching this video, and if you love horror and Halloween content all year round, don't forget to subscribe for all things Halloween.